heard.
I heard we had someone special in the house here.
You?
No, and I want to come by and say what's up to my guy. Adrian, how you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
While we here, can you kind of take a little walk with me? Yeah. You don't mind? I mean, we want to talk to you about something. I don't want everybody to hear this. You know? Now, kind of stand over here. Stand right here. All right, come on back here. Now, I want you to kind of, on 3, I want you to pull this back.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
You can do that?
I can
all
do
right?
that. Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Have my name up there in the bright lights at US Bank Stadium forever. Something that you put hard work and dedication into, and it turns into being in the Minnesota Vikings Ring of Honor. Brother, that is special. Look at this, brother.
Wow.
Man, I'll buy anything John Randall's selling.
Yeah.
I love John Randall. I think John Randall may be, if I was listing my top 5 all-time football players, and when you say someone's top 5, that means they're number 5, he would be higher than number 5. I'm just using 5 as a round number. He could be 3.
Put him at 3.
Top 3 means you're number 3.
So 5 football players.
Yeah.
History
Just
of football.
Everything about him. Everything about him. The personality. We've talked recently about the whole
Great personality.
doing the research.
Yeah.
And just what a player and a guy who overcame so much, grew up in a tiny little house down in Texas and was undrafted in a 12-round draft. We talked about that on Friday. And to achieve Hall of Fame status, to be one of the all-time greats at his position, a team that has a great legacy of talented defensive tackles, and they hope they drafted a couple of good ones this year. But Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs of all time. And I said before the break what took so long. I mean, there has been a complicated legacy with off-field issues. He missed all but one game of the 2014 season when the NFL discovered the paid leave concept. There was the incident with the disciplining of his child that had him on paid leave for the balance of the season. Greg Hardy and Ray Rice ended up in that same boat, although Rice was cut. There's been some other off-field stuff since Peterson retired, but there is no denying the talent, the impact. As the 7th overall pick in the 2007 draft, he was instantly different. Week 1 of that year, swing pass against the Falcons, and he was shot out of a cannon. And sometimes all it takes is one play to know that someone is different from everyone else.
Yeah, we talk about that position and how the NFL views it. I think there are certain running backs where you have to say, okay, this is a different category. So we know there are tons of running backs, and you don't necessarily have to draft one like at number 3 like the Cardinals did with Jeremiah Love. You can get good running backs in the 2nd round, 3rd round, 4th round, on and on. But then there are Adrian Peterson types. There are Saquon Barkley types, going back in there. You mentioned Emmitt Smith. It's just, you're not getting that in the 2nd round. You're not getting that in the 3rd round. It's just, as you said, it's just different. He is one of those guys where he's getting the ball, and in certain situations it doesn't matter. He's going to do something to you, even if he doesn't break off in a 30 or 40-yard run. With that running style, with his size and his strength, okay, you tackle him, but you're gonna feel it, and you're not gonna have the same person who's gonna come up and try to tackle him 12 or 13 times a game, because eventually he's gonna overwhelm you. Just the size, the combination of size, strength, and speed was remarkable.
I agree with you on the notion that predominantly the Hall of Fame running backs will have been first-rounders, because you're not going to use, especially a high first-round pick, on a guy that doesn't have that potential. But there have been some that weren't first-rounders. Derrick Henry,
Davis.
Terrell Davis, Curtis Martin was a 3rd-rounder in 1995. Thurman Thomas was a 2nd-rounder. So it's not impossible, but there's something about that pedigree, the potential, and then achieving it. And for some of these guys, and that's why I can't wait to watch Jeremiah Love, because it's one thing to be man among boys at the college level. When you can show up and be man among men, when you can be the guy who stands out, when you're up against the best talent that college football has produced, as honed by the fires and the tribulations of the NFL over the past 10 years. And you got guys 10, 15 years older than you, and they are bigger and stronger and faster than anybody you've ever dealt with, and you still dominate there. That's when they're special.
Mike, let me ask you, as a Vikings fan, do you think this is controversial in Minnesota? We know what his skill set was and is, but, the issues, especially with the situation with his son and all the attention that it got. Adrian Peterson now, and that was it 2014 you said? So it's a dozen years ago. Adrian Peterson now, is that going to be just warmly received without a lot of controversy among Vikings fans?
I haven't, and I was too busy yesterday to really pay attention to the aftermath of it. I know my reaction was he deserves it, but there are these other issues that we just can't ignore. And I think it's possible to compartmentalize. Does he deserve to be recognized among the all-time franchise greats? Yes. Do we just ignore all the other things? No. And it's just part of his legacy, because it was a sufficiently serious situation to cause him to miss all but one game of the 2014 season. Now, that was at a time when the NFL was hypersensitive to this topic, thanks to the Ray Rice elevator video that dropped the day after the first Sunday of the 2014 season and threw the NFL into a tailspin. But the timing couldn't have been worse. But still, there have been some other things since then, and that doesn't take away the fact that he was one of the all-time great. Hey, O.J. Simpson's bust is still in Canton. As long as O.J. Simpson's bust is still in Canton, I'll submit to you that it's possible to segregate the idea of great player and whatever happened away from the field, especially after the career ended. I don't know. So I don't know what the reaction's going to be. But for me, I try to spin the two plates and understand this guy was special. And yes, there are other issues that we're just not going to forget about.
And the last game he played for the Vikings, when was the last time he played for the Vikings? What year was it?
2016, I
2016.
believe.
So
2015 or so. I think it was 16.
So I'm guessing that if this hadn't happened, he's probably in, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I think the reason it's happening now, I think it was intentional. I think they just waited until things calmed down a bit. So it'll be interesting to see, because a lot of franchises, I don't know how every franchise does it. Everybody does it a little bit different. But if this ceremony, if they give him the mic, or, leading up to the ceremony, he does a series of interviews in the Twin Cities. I wonder if he brings it up and what he says about it now, as opposed to some of his comments at the time, because he didn't back away. Remember, he didn't back away from talking about it at the time. He, in a lot of ways, he defended his actions. So we'll see how he feels about it 12 years later.
7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro. He was the AP Offensive Rookie of the Year. He was the MVP in 2012. And he came back from that season, 2014, with 1,485 rushing yards and was first-team All-Pro the next year. So incredible career, and I think of Paul Allen yelling, "And he's loose." I mean, he would just, if he got through the first level, now the linebacker would have a shot at him. Once he got past the second level,
theoretically,
he was gone.
Right,
he was gone, and it was amazing to watch, and he deserves it. But the other issues can't be forgotten. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.